Hello everybody, this is American Seagull Predictions and I'm back with a new video. Today this is a scenario against Bill Clinton back in 1992 if George H.W. Bush kept his promise about not raising taxes and not pissing off a lot of conservatives. So let's begin. First of all, I think George Bush would still narrowly hold on to save Louisiana. I mean, Bill Clinton is from the South, but I still just think that George Bush would carry it. I mean, he would still probably carry it. Uh, let's go see what other states I think. I think George Bush would easily flip back state of Georgia. That would just narrowly, even though Bill Clinton has some of that experience, I think that George Bush would still carry it. I mean, Bill Clinton still has some of that, some gets, I mean, he's just good at appealing to Southern voters. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these southern states got close, but George Bush would still narrowly hold on to them, even though he had better margins in 1988. Another state, Kentucky, I think would also probably flip back. George Bush would probably win it by like 8 points, probably 8 to 9 points. Also, I also think George Bush would probably win Ohio as well. I mean, Bill Clinton also carried it, but Bush I think would just carry it. But probably carry it again. I think also George Bush would probably also win, probably narrowly in Colorado. He'll probably win by like 3-4 points probably in Colorado. I think Bill Clinton is just was really good looking back then, and yeah. Uh, Illinois I think would just be too far gone for Bush, as it would just be. As Cook County would just still explode, and Bill Clinton would still do well in the rural areas. Uh, I still think George Bush would probably still win New Jersey. He would still probably hold on it by like 7 points. Let's keep going here. Wisconsin. You know, I do think George Bush could actually flip Wisconsin back into the Republican column narrowly. Montana will probably also flip back as Bill Clinton just won it by a hair again. George Bush would probably also carry all of Maine, as he had a home there, and I just think he would do well there. West Virginia, I still think that state would go to him. Let me just check. Yeah. Delaware? Yeah, I see this one flipping back, but it'd be just by a hair. I think George Bush went by like 2 points. And I still think Bill Clinton would probably be a very good Democrat, but George Bush was kind of a candidate, but let's just keep going. I mean, George Bush, I think if he didn't lie at all, I think he would still do worse than he did in 1988, but he would still get enough support for him to get reelected. Nevada would probably also fall for Bush as well. Also, Michigan would probably also vote for George Bush narrowly, probably by like 1 to 2 points. I also think New Hampshire would also probably. I mean, he'd still hold on to New Hampshire as well. I mean, he didn't even lose it by that much. George W. Bush would win there. New Mexico, I think would still narrowly go to Bill Clinton. California, I think, was just too far gone. Oregon, yeah, he isn't going to live in Oregon. How about Washington? Washington also too far gone, but it'd still be pretty close. Maryland, I still feel would go to Bill Clinton. Connecticut, I think, would narrowly go to George Bush, as I don't really see that. Pennsylvania, let's go to Pennsylvania. That one's too far-fetched, but I do think George Bush did annihilate some of these suburban areas like Delaware and Montgomery, and I think he would just eke out a win by probably less than a point. And Tennessee, let's see what Tennessee voted. I think George H.W. Bush would also make a narrow win. He'd probably win Tennessee by 3 points as well. I mean, Al Gore on the ticket would have helped that, but I still think George Bush still get enough to win it. And this is my final prediction on if George Bush didn't lie. I think Bill Clinton would still just do better because I think he's probably was the best Democrat to run on. I just think he'd still lose just because I think he's just pretty good. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. American Seagull Predictions out.